That's not a hostage.
Hey, what's up? I got
It was okay. But there was this guy, and he was like doing stuff, and he was like, whatever, and I was like, okay.
So what do you do about it?
I didn't do anything.
Whoa! What? On my face. It's part of the problem.
I can't move.
You can do it.
I'm like seriously stuck.
So, you say something, you do something, alright?
Help! Call an astronaut.
Hey, Mark, excuse me. I'm on my way to 3768. Kind of got hung up. It's raining out here. I'm on my way into Dallas. Jerry's probably going to be calling you to find out where I'm at if he can't get a hold of me, I'm sure. So thought, whoa. Man, I just had a wreck right in front of me. This guy ran a red light and hit four old ladies in an Impala. Just kind of clipped them and turned them around right in front of me, man. That was close. Oh, now this guy's getting out of his car. He's got a white shirt on with a tiny cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He's throwing his hands up in the air like it was their fault. Oh, hold on. He's going over to their window. She's rolling down the window. Oh man, I think she sprayed him with pepper spray, man. He's holding his face and he's on his knee. She's beating him with an umbrella. The other women are getting out too. There's one woman with a little black person. She's tomahawking him, man. She looks like a Sunbelt 20 horsepower jackhammer. We got another woman that's she's hitting him like he's got a cattle prod, man. She's got an umbrella. She's sticking it in inside. Oh, there's another one it's a little woman that looks like Mother Goose. She beat him. She's got this U-bid bag. She beat him. She's got this U-bid bag. It's huge. It's about the size of her. She's about 4 foot nothing. She hit him over the head. Everything went all over the place. Her Bible fell. She just hit him in the head with a Bible. She picked this Bible up and she lifted it way over her head. It was a hardback NVI version. They're still beating the hell out of this guy. She picked his Bible up and raised it up above her head and just beamed the guy. This guy's not getting up. They're still hitting him. The one with the little black person still, all pieces of it. Okay, he's up on the car. The little woman just beamed him again with that big bag. He's running to his car. He's out of here. The little bitty Mother Goose woman. She's stuck into him as he's driving off. I wish you would have been here, man. This is too good. I gotta go.
I like your hat. I like your hat.
I absolutely love sharing my passion and love for this president. Black Trump supporters do exist. Do exist. Black Trump supporters do exist. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat.
Can we all just sing it from the mountaintops?
The good reactions, it's always kind of funny. People will kind of whisper. People will kind of whisper. They don't know what to register. My friends are like, oh my God. It's not because I'm black. It's because I'm a Trump supporter. I'm the unicorn. And I got upgraded to first class. Look me up and down. Get a nice reminder when they got on the plane. Look at my hat all the way. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel, I make sure I wear my hat. My hat, my hat. I make sure I wear my hat. Every time I travel.
President Trump has restored the idea of America.
Keep America great! Exclamation point.
The Dow Jones made history today, closing over 26,000 points for the first time.
This is a standout report.
He's going to bring all these jobs back. Well, how exactly are you going to do that? What magic wand do you have?
Hand me down a walking cane. Hand me down my hat.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them.
The collusion delusion is over.
You're fake news.
Unbelievable.
So dishonest.
Mr. President. Mr. President. Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President. Mr. President, are you...
That's enough. Put down the mic.
So much winning. Everything he does.
Every day is NASCAR.
Seems to come out right.
Donald Trump, keeper of promises.
Playing all the music, just keeping time. Where in the world did he learn that? Oh, Lord. Well, I have to get away.
I am with you. I will fight for you. And I will win for you.
November 3rd, 2020. Can you believe? It's right around the corner.
So you ready? Let's go. Let me hear it.
Make America great again. Thank you, Texas. Thank you. Goodbye, Hillary. Bye.
wish I might get the funky beat that does what you like. Better watch ya, gonna rock ya, and maybe baby body shock ya. My reaction to your attraction is complete and total satisfaction. Now the surgeon's here, you can call me doctor. Tonight I'm gonna make your body rock.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed, a poor mountaineer, barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. Kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Said California is the place you ought to be, so they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars. Well, now it's time to say goodbye to Jed and all his kin, and they would like to thank you folks for kindly dropping in. You're all invited back again to this locality to have a heath in heaven of their hospitality. Hillbilly, that is, set a spell, take your shoes off.
How dare you?
Okay, here we go. Whoops. Oh, okay. Is there sound now? Oh, it must be.
No
so,
sound, no sound.
Well, you gotta wait a second. There should be sound. There should be sound. Hello? Can you hear us out
Orange
there?
on Susan, I'm trying to lip read.
You can't hear me?
Christy's saying we have sound now. Yes, 5 by 5. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey, Pernell.
Okay, where were we? Okay. First post, we have a lot to go through. Doc sent me about 40 items this week. So, first one is a Facebook post. Facebook post, and my mute button is ready for Doc so that we will get through all of them. So, week 45, the day, Saturday before Christmas. Here we go. Facebook post from Tracy Ann is with Jonathan Gillum at the White House. There's nothing more American than this. Is it So that was at the White House, Doc?
Yes, wasn't that beautiful? It was I believe it was the local high school choir that was singing. And it just made my heart swell. I loved it. I thought it was so pretty, especially right there with the tree.
It sounded a little bit distorted, but that's because it was off a cell phone, I think off to the side too. That didn't help. But very nice.
But we got the gist.
Okay, number 2 is another Facebook post from Tracy Ann at the White House. And I think it's just a photo of the Christmas tree. One of the Christmas trees, I'm sure. They have several. Looks like in the dining room or dining hall or whatever you want to call it. Nice. Boy, Melania has good taste.
She sure does. She has done us so proud every year in decorating the White House and has gotten so little credit, just like with everything regarding her or POTUS. It's so sad. But POTUS, we love you. And from a woman who recognizes good taste when I see it, you're the bomb. You are so elegant, and we so appreciate your fine representation in the people's house.
Next up, Doc, is we're going to get into some winning very quickly here, but I know that the trolls love to bring up the farmers that were subsidizing the farmers. There was a reason for that. We were holding out for the deal with China, which is huge, and then USMCA on top of that. Finally, Nancy pulled it out of her caboose and decided to pass it, using it as leverage for her moderate socialists in the House. But this is from Rona McDaniel at GOP chairwoman. Must read from Tommy Hicks, GOP. USMCA is a huge win for Wisconsin farmers and workers. Americans know real Donald Trump is fighting for them. So there you go, trolls. Let's read some of this just to give out some numbers, Doc. The USMCA is a modern and innovative trade deal that will increase U.S. agricultural exports to the world by $2.2 billion, add $68.2 billion to the U.S. economy. Nice. Mm-hmm. So that money
but what I want to also...
Oh, I'm sorry, Dr.
While we need to celebrate this, I think it's imperative that as we celebrate it and are talking to our family members and friends over Christmas break, we need to remember that she put her radical Democrat socialist agenda before the American worker and the American family. She could have done that, made those tweaks in 15 minutes with POTUS a long time ago, and we could have been so much further down the road. But you need to remind everybody, she put her vindictiveness and her hate for Trump ahead of the good of the American people, our families, our workers that could have already been making money, the jobs that this will create. We could have been so much further down the road, but that woman is a traitor, and we need to remind them of that. I don't care what party you're affiliated with. Think of that before you ever cast a vote for that sorry witch bag again.
Agreed, 100%. Wait a minute. As a good Catholic, I'm going to point my bony finger at you. No. I don't hate anybody.
That's okay, Nancy. That's okay, Nancy, even though your name isn't Nancy. Did you hear her drunk tirade retort to the reporter the other day? I sure hope that reporter's name was Nancy, because if not, it showed how drunk she was.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Is a tweet for Ken for Trump at Ken Gallistan. Wow, that was a big FU to the UN money suckers. Trump to order billions of funding cuts to UN agencies. You know what that means? Bye-bye money to George Soros that Obama was funneling through the UN and other countries to these NGOs. He's cutting that funding off. Adios.
That's right.
Sorry, George. Your coup d'etat days are over.
Another pipeline to unlimited funds snipped again by the master snipper.
Yes, that's a lot of money that the UN gets from us, and to undermine us and to try to basically take over our country. Tell us we can't have borders. Tell us we can't do our own trade deals. Tell us we have to join the world community. Screw that. We're the big dog in the world.
I don't know if you saw it, but at a recent event, they were at a hotel at some kind of event, and they tried to claim that they had jurisdiction over our sovereign land and tried to exert authority. And thank God it was shut down, but they keep trying to take it inch by inch by inch. And I say, I'm with POTUS. I'm giving them a big middle finger, buzz off.
That's right. Give them the FUN. Foon. We're going to give them the foon. Quickly, I'm going to just ram through here.
Hashtag food.
Well, I'll do that in a couple minutes. Let's see. Let's go back to... I got too many screens open here, Doc. Let's see. Next up is Fox News. MS-13 crackdown, the largest ever in New York, and snares nearly 100, I think it was 96, members and associates of MS-13. And living in New York, people are pissed up here. Number one, about the illegals staying here and being allowed to stay here, but they're not as mad about that as the illegals getting driver's licenses. Outside of New York City, the rest of the state hates this, doesn't want it, they're furious. So we're talking again a lot about cutting off New York City from the rest of the state. That happens every time this happens, only this time they really have a lot of money poured into it, whereas in previous attempts to do that, they really didn't get a lot of traction. But this is gaining a lot of traction with a dictator like Governor Andrew Cuomo. And on top of that, the entire legislature in New York is Democrat, because most of the legislators come from the New York City area. So the rest of the state is beholden to one city. That's why we don't want the Electoral College. But look at these guys. Look at these guys. They're just nice guys, right?
I don't remember when they get so excited over POTUS saying that they're not sending their best.
Yeah.
I think case in point.
I would say let's take another look at these guys. Yeah, those guys are probably animals and have done some horrific things to human beings, but we can ignore that.
In order to get their markings, they have to do horrendous things.
Yeah, some of these guys have.
There was a gentleman, I think it was on Tucker last night, that was saying they have to commit 4 murders to be considered for membership.
Unbelievable.
And they don't just shoot you with the bullet where it's painless. They hack you to death with machetes. Remember, that's the nice guys they are.
Okay, so real quick, I'm just going to grab some names here and do some shout-outs really quick. Zippity Doodah in D-Live. Scott, West Texas is in D-Live. Miss Katrina in Periscope. Real Truth 48. Monica 3. I'm missing a whole bunch of people, but I'm trying to find them. Richie J. Wilson. I'm sorry if I massacred that one, but Christy is in there. Real Ruth 48. I think I said that. Stephen Sears. Okie Gal. Who else, Doc? Fritzader. All Eagles are free. We'll do a few more shout outs later on. That's all I'm seeing right now, but Doc, you probably see a few more.
I don't have any. I can't see anybody because I have no bubbles. So I can't tell who's here.
You don't have
Unless
bubbles?
you talk to me. Sorry, guys.
Doc is without bubbles today. Send your bubbles to Doc Martin, care of Winning TV. Okay, let's move on. Let's get going here.
If you're sending hate mail, be sure and address it to my Yankee partner.
Oh, thank you. The White House, yes, please send your hate mail to @WinningTV. I think it's underscore winning underscore TV @Proton Mail. You can address it to me. I'll just change the name and put Doc Martin on there and send it to her. The White House, @the White House. President real Donald Trump just signed the Future Act, groundbreaking legislation to support America's historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and to simplify the federal financial aid application for millions of families. You ever try to fill out one of those ridiculous applications? You need a law degree to do it.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's mind-boggling. And, remember when POTUS said, what have you got to lose? Vote for me. What have you got to lose? Look, they've got everything to gain. And once again, he is promises kept, putting another one in the column. And it just does a mind and body good. And we know that they're saying that his support is around 34-35% in the black population. Who knows, with people being afraid because of the PC culture that the left-wing libnuts try to perpetuate in America. Who knows what it's really at? I bet it's much higher than that, and they're just afraid to say. And I say, welcome. The MAGA tent is big enough for everybody.
You there, Doc?
Okay, chop, chop.
Sorry, I lost you for a second. I turned on your.
Did I freeze?
I turn on your mute button there. Oh, from Aussie Nick AU, our friend Aussie Nick. Celebrate every one of these arrests. Matt and DEA. This is from Breaking 911. Whose Twitter account was suspended for posting real news. Unbelievably, they're back. Manhattan DA announces takedown of sex trafficking operation. I don't know how big this one was. I didn't read it, Doc. Do you know any information on it?
I believe at the time, I'm sorry, I've had so many numbers floating in my head. Now I'm sorry, I can't, but it was significant. And you know what? Even if it was just one, which we know it's not, but even if it were just one, that is one pervert off the street that potentially, when you think about the concentric circles of it going out, how many lives that very one, each one represents.
It looks
Did
like.
You see in there? I think it was like around 20 or 25.
Well,
maybe.
I see two, and then it goes through a list of people, so it looks like it was a few. They were using 15
I think
underage
ended
girls.
Up being more than that if you read down into the article.
I am scrolling down through, but I don't see it. It looks like they were using underage girls. 14 years old, 15 years old. But a sex trafficking operation isn't just one guy, on the corner with a couple of girls. It's bigger than that, and it's probably ensnared quite a few people. Quite a few big names, I would guess. So I just moved right into the next one, Doc, because we got to keep rolling here. Fox News. House approves $1.4 trillion spending bill repealing Obamacare taxes. So a bunch of Obamacare taxes have been repealed. Boy, that sounds nice.
For the individual mandate. Yes.
Oh, yes.
It is another victory. They're having to dismantle Obamacare one piece at a time. They designed that very cleverly so that it would be so hard to totally ever get rid of. And that's just one more chink. And money for our military. And I was reading an article today that, POTUS was announced yesterday when he signed the bill that the military was going to get another pay raise. And I read in a left-wing libnut publication of some sort where they were saying, is our military paid too much? Is it really not the return on the monies offered would be higher if they strategically offered bonuses, programs, and all these other things rather than just giving them a flat-out pay raise? And to that, I say, you know what? That's just like a left-wing libnut. They're willing to barter with their own safety and the safety of their kids. I say there isn't enough we can do for our veterans, enough we can do for our armed services, because they have laid their lives down, unlike those chicken lily-livered libnuts that are up on Capitol Hill.
Doc, just a little correction. That wasn't the individual mandate that they repealed. It was 3 taxes that they repealed. The individual mandate was...
Oh, okay. We've got an article coming up on that then.
Well, the individual mandate
because
was...
they did do away with one of... It wasn't the individual mandate. It was a tax mandate on the Obamacare.
Well, there were 3 taxes, 3 among several taxes in Obamacare. The individual mandate was removed when they did the tax reform bill.
Tax break before.
So, yeah.
But there's another. I'm sorry, I misspoke. But there was another tax that I know that they did do away with.
It was on the one of them was the Cadillac tax.
I remember.
One of them was the Cadillac tax.
That was exactly it. It was the Cadillac tax. Thank you very much. I've read too much this week. My head is swimming from all the winning.
Next one up is a tweet from
If an
Ryan.
insurance broker, you would think I would remember that one. Sorry, babe.
Oh, no. I don't know. I was going to buy insurance from y'all, but now I'm starting to get nervous. Oh.
I'm sorry, my brain is fried. I'm winging it on a prayer and a bobby pin because, as you know, mamas play a large role in Santa Claus in the family, and I have been feverishly wrapping, shopping, trying to get the house ready, trying to get everything done and all that stuff, and all this winning to going on amongst all that. So, pardon me, guys. We're winging it tonight.
So a tweet from Ryan Fournier, at Ryan A. Fournier, breaking. A federal appeals court has just ruled the Obamacare individual mandate to be unconstitutional. So I think the Democrats were trying to fight that and get that back. And guess what? The individual mandate.
Want to undo everything.
Well, the individual mandate was fought in the Supreme Court already, but it looks like a federal appeals court has just ruled that it was unconstitutional because of the way they argued it. They sold it to us as a penalty and then turned around and told the Supreme Court it was a tax. So they lied right through their teeth. Tax. It was a tax. It was always a tax.
As usual.
Yep.
As usual.
Yeah, you can keep your doctor, you can keep your plan.
Yeah. And I hope O. Roberts thinks about that long and hard someday. I just think there's justice coming for that man after what he has done. He turned his back on. There's no other logical explanation other than the fact the man is compromised some way. And if you do some deep dives into some debts and some expenses that he has, it wouldn't take a big stretch of imagination to imagine how they did that.
Right. Next up, Doc, as we're going to keep rolling here, it's let's see, we got a tweet from the Trump War Room, at Trump War Room. Ford Motor Company just announced that it is investing $1.5 billion in 2 auto factories in the Detroit area, creating another 3,000 Michigan jobs. President Trump tells the crowd. Let's see if
so, Ford Motor Company just announced that it is investing $1.5 billion in 2 auto factories in the Detroit area, creating another 3,000 Michigan jobs. So
I like that it was Ford too, because Ford did not take any of the bailout money. I think it was the only auto company that didn't take bailout money. So
I believe they were the only one at the time.
That gets us to the some of the winning news. There was a lot more than that, but we just tried to grab some of the things you may not have heard and probably didn't heard on the mainstream media. But here's a tweet from Donald Trump. We're going to get into the impeachment hoax, witch hunt, whatever you want to call it. It's an absolute joke. Real Donald at Real Donald Trump. In reality, they're not after me. They're after you. I'm just in the way. Isn't that the truth?
Isn't it sad that he has to stand in the way? I just think we need to always remember that every day. We need to get up and remember who they're really after. And just be thankful that this man was willing to stand up in the face of unbelievable odds and to do this for us. It's just a debt we can never repay.
Well, you know what? I actually want to say a thank you to Nancy Pelosi. And you're about to find out why with this next one. Nancy Pelosi, thank you, because everybody in America knows this is a hoax, a joke. It was hateful, it was spiteful, and that's all it was about. Because here we go. Fox Business. Trump impeachment doesn't stop Dow from booking 10,000th point since election. Thank you, Nancy. They all know you're full of crap.
My 401k's doing a happy dance. Woohoo!
Adam Bullshit, your 401k's got to be looking pretty good right now. But this is all because of Nancy, and everybody in America knows it's an absolute joke.
Did you hear she got voted Employee of the Month at the Trump reelection campaign.
Yeah, fundraiser of the month. I think Boogie Bumper talked about that on his Daily Boogie Show. It was pretty funny. We're gonna get into some of the impeachment stuff. Here we go. Let's do a Chris Mack here. Roll tape. Okay, Tracy Beans at Tracy Beans. If you don't follow Tracy Beans, you should, because she's a great deep diver, investigative reporter. That's what I call her, a real investigative reporter, not look at what you see on TV. If any of our listeners even watch TV, I think TV news is outdated and everybody knows it's fake news. So Tracy Bean says, if you listen to nothing else today, listen to this and share it. This is Congressman Clay Higgins from Louisiana. Thank you. This is one of the moments from the hearings that will go down in the history books. So well done. I threaded the text below. So she wrote it out in text, what he said, but we're going to play it.
I have descended into the belly of the beast. I have witnessed the terror within, and I rise committed to oppose the insidious forces which threaten our republic. America is being severely injured by this betrayal, by this unjust and weaponized impeachment brought upon us by the same socialists who threaten unborn life in the womb, who threaten First Amendment rights of conservatives, who threaten Second Amendment protections of every American patriot, and who have long ago determined that they would organize and conspire to overthrow President Trump. We don't face this horror because the Democrats have all of a sudden become constitutionalists. We're not being devoured from within because of some surreal assertion of the socialists' newfound love for the very flag that they trod upon. We face this horror because of this map. This is what the Democrats fear. They fear the true will of we, the people. They are deep establishment, D.C. They fear. They call this Republican map flyover country. They call us deplorables. They fear our faith. They fear our strength. They fear our unity. They fear our vote, and they fear our president. We will never surrender our nation to career establishment D.C. politicians and bureaucrats. Our republic shall survive this threat from within. American patriots shall prevail. Mr. Speaker, I yield.
Amen.
I have descended into the belly of the beast.
Yes, that was a great speech that he gave. He called out everything. And you know what? I know the election in 2020 is coming. You got to vote red. You got to, in some cases, you may have to hold your nose, but you have to vote red. The Democrats have to lose power of the House, period. And we have to get some more Senate seats. So you got to get out there. You got to vote red. You got to go all straight down red and get rid of these people, even in your local community, because Soros is dumping money into local races, believe it or not, to get a hold of the judiciary portion of your county and state. He doesn't care about the
that's what
seats.
He's doing with the assistant district or the district attorneys, is they're trying to take over a large proportion of them. They're the ones that have been saying they won't prosecute crimes under like $750 is what they're doing in Dallas.
So
because again, we have we have a left-wing libnut that's moved out here from California that has taken over, and crime is spiking. They won't prosecute anything under $750. That's like giving away free $750 bills to, money worth of money to anybody that wants to walk into a store, and to all these small business owners. They can't take hits like that.
In New York State, they got rid of bail for almost every crime, unless it's murder or something, a capital offense. But almost every crime. If I walk down to the store, rob the store with a handgun, I don't go to jail because they can't set a bail for me. That New York State just passed that. So I believe it's just been passed. There's a lot of people that are furious about that, especially local shop owners, because a guy can get out of, be processed, get a appearance ticket, and reappear at your store that afternoon with a handgun and rob you again. It's just unbelievable. But let's get on with this impeachment
They can't do anything
hoax.
about it.
Let's keep on with the impeachment hoax here. Here's John Ratcliffe.
I love him.
If there was ever a time to vote hell no, this was it. And he wrote hell no on his voting ballot or ticket. Oh, pretty funny there.
I love it.
Okay, what's next, Doc? I think it's more impeachment. Oh, we got another video on the impeachment here. And this one's going to be a good one because it's Representative Doug Collins at Rep. Doug Collins. Where the law ends... I'm sorry, Doc, what was that?
I said he's another rock star.
Yes. Where the law ends, tyranny begins. Democrats broke their own rules to declare a president guilty of crimes they couldn't prove and their articles didn't allege. There are no crimes in the articles, both of them. The second one's an absolute sham because the president has the right to go to court. So the Democrats' entire impeachment is just a sham. Anyway, tonight Democrats shamed an institution they claimed to love and failed a country they claimed to serve.
Madam Speaker, a few weeks ago, just off of this floor, I said that a dark cloud was descending upon this body. And today, because of the clock and the calendar, it is closing. It is amazing to me what I just heard from the Majority Leader, that Mr. Schiff and Mr. Nadler presented a compelling case for impeachment. If this is a compelling case for impeachment, I'm not sure why we're here right now. It is not anywhere close to compelling. But you know what is interesting is what I have heard today. The Majority Leader just spoke and said that if the president was given every opportunity to come prove his innocence. I tell you what, Madam Speaker, let me have just a few minutes, stop the clock, and let me go around to the press corps and to everybody here, and I'm going to accuse you of something. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. Now prove it's wrong. You did it. Guess what? You don't want to, because deep down you know that that's turning the entire jurisprudence of this country upside down. You're not guilty until you're proven. You're innocent. And today from this floor, we have heard the Majority Leader say this president is guilty and not the other way around. He is innocent, and these come nowhere close to proving it. But what is left of this body? Let's have an honest conversation, Madam Speaker. What we have found over the past few weeks is it is okay for the majority to tear down a foreign leader because they can't make their case. They've called him a liar or weak or worse, or as it was called in the committee, even looked like a battered wife. It is below the dignity of this body and this majority to tear down a foreign leader because they can't make their case against this one. We have broken rules in this House, even to this moment. Chairman Schiff and the others have broken House Resolution 660 by not turning over the things that they should be turning over. I still have not got a transcript. We still don't know what we got. And the White House still has not got their stuff. I guess minority hearing rule days don't matter either. You see, there is a problem here because we're going to vote this tonight while breaking the rules. What a shameful incident. But we also found in creative interpretation of minority rights. We saw the rise of partisanship because of things that have been done even further. And we've even seen members smeared in reports by drive-by political hacks when they matched numbers of the majority or the ranking member and the members of the press. That ought to concern every one of you as much as it concerns every one of us. Nothing but a drive-by hit. But you know something? This majority leader also just said, wherever law ends, tyranny begins. But I will say this, in this House, wherever the rules are disregarded, chaos and mob rule actually begin, and the majority has taken that to a new level. It has been said today, where is bravery? I'll tell you where bravery is found and courage is found. It's found in this minority who has lived through the last year of nothing but rules being broken, people being put down, questions not being answered, and this majority say, be damned with anything else, we're going to impeach and do whatever we want to do. Why? Because we won an election. I guarantee you, one day you'll be back in the minority, and it ain't going to be that fun. Because when you look at it, when you actually trash the rules of this House, you ought to really look at what did you gain at the end by trashing the institution you claim to love. That's the things we found out so far. But you know, they're really careful of saying, oh, you want to deal in process and process. As I said last night in the Rules Committee, where they didn't want to listen, I'll win on process and I will win on facts because we have the truth on our side. Let me remind you that here's what the process actually says. There was no pressure. Look at the call. President Zelensky, President Trump, no pressure. There was no conditionality. There was nothing done to get the aid, and the aid actually came. There were 5 meetings. But when you look at it right now, none of which matter, because right now the dark cloud is descending upon this House. And I am fearful, Madam Speaker. When I look out in that abyss, I don't know what I see, but I tell you what I do see. I see coming off a president who will put his head down even through this sham impeachment, and he will do his job. He will put the American people first. He will tell them that I care about you. He will still put the economy first, and he will make sure this country stands strong. That's what I see in this abyss. That's where we're going. And, Madam Speaker, it is with that hope in the future that I recognize right now that I yield 1 minute to the Republican leader of this House, the Republican from California, Mr. McCarthy.
Wow. That was, the Republicans look like they're growing a spine finally.
It took an outfit dog to teach him how to relearn how to bark. I mean, honestly, it was like, I think they'd been hanging out with the left-wing live nuts too long. It rubbed off on them.
That's why, again,
Land, but they are back.
If you don't like your Republican candidate, you have to vote for that Republican candidate. Vote red. Vote them out, the Democrats, because Trump will bring along people. He will get people fired up and get them going on his side. You'll see. So, you know, the only one that we have to worry about is Mitt Romney right now, really. But in the end, Trump gets them over to his side eventually. So don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Vote red. We got to get rid of the Democrats.
That's right. Be red or be square.
So we're up to Mr. Average Joe. I like that name. At Brandon N1271. Breaking Trump rally, Trump 2020, Ukraine must watch. This is he retweeted M3. I think it's supposed to be methods. At M2 Madness. Rudy Giuliani dropping truth bombs again. You'll have to go out and watch this video. Well, we got a minute, so we can watch it. We're going to play this right now.
Love to see it. I want to show you one other document that I think probably gets the President of the United States angrier than anything else, and you'll see why in a minute. This is an accounting report going back to 2017. This is during the Obama administration. The Ukrainians located $5.3 billion in foreign aid that was being misspent. About 80% of that is our money. That's what he keeps saying about, he was worried about how Ukraine spends money. Here's the proof. Not, you know, Adam Schiff lies. Here's the proof. Now, the Ukrainians started to investigate this. 2 people from our embassy went to see them and told them, don't investigate it. We don't care. We don't care about the $5.3 billion of our taxpayers' money. And you say, well, why would they do that? And then there was even a lot more pressure. Why would they do that? Because what this shows is that our embassy was giving this money not to the government. They were giving it to NGOs. You know who the biggest NGO owner is?
Yeah, George Soros.
Oh, my God, anti-Semitic. We're anti-Semitic now.
I know.
We said the word George Soros. I'll be damned if you're going to call me anti-Semitic.
No. Yeah, Rudy, they've been ripping Rudy a new one, especially in Congress, in the House. And there's a reason. Rudy's been gathering actual evidence and not hearsay and people's opinions. So when Rudy shows up to testify in the Senate, yeah, all hell's going to break loose. Yep.
Well, and he's been holding a virtual trial with all of his interviews that he's been doing. He's been broadcasting everything he's been finding for anyone that wants to know to see. And it is making them mad as hell, and they're worried because this man put the mob behind bars. This man knows how to do it, and he's going to bring the pain along with Barr and Horowitz and, kind of Horowitz. Whether he was willing or not, he got his job done. and Durham. So
Okay.
I like his bulldogged look.
We got about 20 more to go, Doc. We only got 15 minutes, so we got to roll here.
Okay.
This is from at Chismaga. Trump supporter reads Adam Schiff his Miranda rights while he's ordering coffee.
When this fails
This is great.
to impact the president like you guys expect it to, what are the Democrats going to do next?
I'm sorry I don't have time for your interview today, but thank you anyway.
When you're brought up for treason, what is your response going to be then?
Thank you.
Sir, you're going to hear these words later, but you might as well hear them now. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, you will be provided with one. Do you understand these rights as I've cited them to you? Adam Schiff, everybody. Guys, the Democrats are committing treason. I won't get in the way of you doing your job. God bless you. Thank you for your service.
Oh, that was an awesome
That's
troll.
what we got to start doing, guys. Is everywhere we can, hold them accountable. I do tell us all the time, be nice and be respectful. But let's start getting up there any chance you get and hold them accountable. Show them. I mean, we got to start fighting fire with fire. And this guy was very respectful, very nice. But boy, did he! You got to know that. Oh, Shifty Schiff his head was probably bobbling so hard his oxygen was totally cut off to his brain.
Next one is a tweet from Terrence Williams. Everybody loves Terrence at W_Terrence. Follow Terrence. He's funny as hell, but he tells it like it is, and he tells the truth. So this is sad and disgraceful. The Democrats think that this impeachment is all fun and games. They claim it's not a joyful moment, but there they are smiling about impeachment. And they also clapped and cheered after the vote. Don't forget that, people. Yeah, somber moment. This is not good for the American people, and we must stand with President Trump.
Everyone, I am on my way to the United States House floor to impeach President Trump on behalf of my incredible district, 13 district.
Wow. So y'all think this is a game? Y'all think this is all fun and games? Ain't nothing funny about this at all. Nothing is funny about this at all. And I thought the Democrats said this was not a joyful moment. But here they are, celebrating, laughing, having a good old time. This is not funny. First of all, President Trump does not deserve this kind of treatment. He has done nothing wrong. The only thing this man has done was put America first. The only thing President Trump has done was put America first. This man has been fighting hard for this country. And y'all think this is a game? Y'all think this is funny? Y'all are trying to drive America into a ditch. The American people don't deserve this. President Trump don't deserve this. But y'all think it's a game. Y'all think it's funny. Y'all are hurting the American people. Y'all are trying to ruin every good thing this president has done for this country. But it's a game to y'all. Y'all think it's funny. I don't have nothing else to say to y'all. But I can guarantee you this. President Trump will win in 2020. And all of y'all will be out of office.
Got that right. We're being throttled a little bit, but probably because they played that too long. Next one up, Doc. We're going to try to roll through some real quick here. Next one up is Chismaga. Trump Michigan rally start. Stats. I'm sorry. 20,000 plus in attendance. 15% have never voted before. 17% were registered Democrats. If you're the Democrats, you have got to be nervous right now. Let me tell you what. 17% were registered Democrats. That's a landslide right there. If they're supporting Trump. Next one up. We're going to try to blow through these rally ones, Doc. Trump CAG. at Matt_Hudgens. Don't scroll past this and not watch. Trust me, it's a must-see. It looks like the Trump rally.
Questions for you.
Oh, no.
Mr. Trump, you've done great things in your life, and I just wonder, how do I, as an average person, begin?
Well, first of all, never think of yourself as average. You started off with the wrong question because you're not average. You've got a lot going. I see you're smart. I see you're very beautiful.
What we were able to do today was allow people to see his heart for themselves and to make up their own minds about him. And they find out that he's not the person that the media has depicted him to be.
Are you endorsing?
I support Donald Trump, and everybody knows. Everybody knows.
100%.
Families.
I know Donald forever. I like Donald very much.
Wonderful guy. I mean,
he is.
And he's miscast by the media. You know that.
All right, I'm going to stop it there, Doc, because it's 9 minutes or 8.5 minutes long. But if you want to watch that video, it's an excellent video. Go see Trump CAG at Matt_Hudgens to see that video. All right, next one up is, I like this one. It's short. It's from True Patriot Girl. It's a retweet of Pismo. Where can I find this man and hug him? He has seen combat, lived through depressions, recessions, many presidents. Never discount what people older than you can teach you. Let's see.
Your service, sir, in World War II.
Well, I'm glad to do it, and in fact, you took me off of the farm, and I was a cowboy at Chapman Ranch in South Texas.
And you were a reconnaissance paratrooper, is that right?
That's what they called me, yes.
Wow.
I entered the service in January of '42.
Wow, and you went all over. You were telling me Morocco, all over Africa?
Oh, yes, 5 major battles.
5 major battles. So how long of a time did you serve? That's
not all that long, about 4 years.
4 years. That's a lot of time. Thank you for your service, sir.
It was 4 years, but they were busy 4 years.
I'm sure.
We didn't get any days off.
Well, you're one of our heroes, and we thank you for that. And, why are you here supporting the president?
Oh, I have to say this openly. He's the first president in my 96 years. Reagan came close, but I have to support Mr. Trump. But he is the first real president that we had in my 96 years.
Wow.
He's got it all.
He does what he says he's going to do, and
everything he has done, I've been asking for all these years. Wow. We had a man with the guts, the structure, the stature, the knowledge, and everything that goes with it. Mainly, he's doing the right thing. Every move he makes is right.
Yeah.
The way I think.
I totally agree. And does he support our veterans?
Oh, yes. Yes.
No doubt about that.
Yes, that's right.
Well, thank you so much for your service. 96 years old, World War II veteran. It's an honor just to speak with you, Red. And you said I could call you Red or Luther or Ellie, but you said you used to have red hair and it got loose, right?
Call me anything, but don't leave me out for dinner.
I won't.
Okay.
I won't. Well, thank you so much, Red. You're a real joy. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great.
Adorable. Oh my Lord, I love that man. And he said very similar to my favorite saying. You can call me late for lots of things, but you can't call me late for supper.
Oh, he was from Texas, you could tell.
Yes, I believe that was maybe when they were here for it looked like the Dallas airport.
Here we go. This is a tweet from Sarah Grimmer at Sarah Grimmer TV. Crowds camped out overnight at the Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek, and let's see, what's his Merry Christmas rally.
Hey, say hi. Say hi.
Now, if you don't get it and you live in the South, this is Michigan, where people are camped out overnight waiting for the rally. It had to be darn cold.
I think they said it was 20-degree weather. It was really cold.
waiting for the rally. That's just unbelievable. All right, we got a video on YouTube for... I'm trying to whiz through these, Doc. Sorry.
And that's more money
It'd be
than
like a
anything
big
we're
fucking-
talking about. So we have, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Now get her out.
Wow, that's lovely. She's flipping off the crowd. Gotta be kidding me.
Look at the reception she got. That was funny.
Get her out of here. Oh, well, you're about to hear the greatest speech you've ever heard, and that's going to be the publicity, because all the fake news back there will say, massive riot.
Massive riot.
Fake news. But seriously, look, they won't say it. They won't say it. Because when we have protesters all in favor, they don't talk about it. But there's a slob. There's a real slob. Wait. Wait a minute. She'll get hell when she gets back home with Mom. But she made... Look, she screams a little bit, and you know what I like to do? Avoid them. Because, you know, I'll tell you the big problem. I could hardly hear her. What happens is all of you people go crazy. Look. And the place... Okay, so there's one disgusting person who made, who made I wouldn't say this, but made a horrible gesture with the wrong finger, right? Now, they won't say that, the fake news. They won't say it. If one of us did that, it would be like the biggest story ever. I think it's terrible. And I'll tell you the other thing. I don't know who the security company is, but the police came up, but they want to be so politically correct. So they don't grab her wrist lightly and get her out. They say, oh, would you please come? Would you please come with me? Sure. Ma'am, would you? And then she gives the guy the finger, and he, oh. You got to get a little bit stronger than that, folks.
Oh, boy. All right, Doc. Fox News. Republican Party sets fundraising record amid impeachment battle. That's why we say Nancy Pelosi is our #1 fundraiser. Thank you, Nancy. Guess what? The DNC is $7 million, $7.5, I think, $1 million in debt.
Mm-hmm.
So a party that's $7.5 million in debt is running. How many socialists now? We're up to 8 socialists. Congratulations.
There was. When there's 7 at the debate or something, I didn't watch it. But
I think there's a couple of socialists that didn't make the debate stage.
Their nails down a chalkboard.
Yeah. Okay, we got a good one here. You know, while people are protesting Donald Trump and his awesome presidency, the best president we've ever had, and since George Washington, maybe Abraham Lincoln. Give Lincoln some credit. Calvin Coolidge was pretty good. But here we go. We've got people protesting carrying communist flags. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, let me turn the volume down. In Hong Kong, they're folding the American flag. Wake up, commies. Communism isn't all rainbows and unicorns and you poop gold. It doesn't work that way.
The first was in our country to be stomping up and down on it and burning it.
Yeah. You should go over to Hong Kong and see how they feel about America. I think they want to become a state.
Yeah, or at least a territory like.
These are great. I'm sorry. We're gonna troll some Bob's Dragon Cats and a few lefties like Texas Blue here with a few of these. My Friday feeling is triggering a liberal. This is from Dawn. I stand with General Flynn at Dawn_Demore1. Let's roll this.
Alexa, who's the president of the United States?
The United States president is Donald Trump.
Oh, I love these. We got one more, and it's from Ruth Ann at T-Boots. This is awesome. Love this. One day after the impeachment. So this was done a day after the
Hey
impeachment.
Siri, who is the president of the United States?
Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
Hey Siri,
Oh,
who is the...
oh, sorry. Oh, those are great. This will probably be the last one, and then we've got some Christmas stuff for the next show, the Speakeasy show. We'll run through that. We've got about 6 or 7 of those left. This is from Donald J. Trump himself at Real Donald Trump. Thank you to Franklin Graham for stating that his father, the late Billy Graham, voted for me in the 2016 election. I know how pleased you are with the work we have all done together. So after that, what was it, Christianity News or something?
Today or something like that. It's a has-been. People haven't been reading that ORAG in years. And my understanding from, I think from Post Radio is that he's already been fired. So I think he was just trying to garner a lot of attention for his new book. But if y'all ever need a wonderful charity, I highly, highly, highly recommend Samaritan's Purse, Franklin Graham's charity. It's a great charity. Their administrative costs are low. The recipients get a large portion of the monies. So it's a great charity.
Okay, folks, make sure you get over to Speakeasy tonight and watch our Christmas show. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, we're going to have fun celebrating Christmas.
Yes, you got to get over
and
there.
I have one thought before we go. I want to leave everybody with one thing before we start getting too silly and having fun on Speakeasy. But remember, this is what even the Grinch thought. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't thought before. What if Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store? What if Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more? Merry Christmas, everybody. So glad y'all have stuck with us this year for a whole year of magnificent winning. And we wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas, and we love y'all and appreciate you. So be sure and mega on and come join us in the new year for another even more stupendous year of winning, if you can believe it. I think we're going to put our seatbelts on.
And the chest over in D-Live, I will open that at the end of the next show, which forces you, if you're on D-Live, to watch the next show. So, I got you.
Like that.
I got you entrapped. You have to go watch the next show. So, we'll see you over on D-Live, YouTube, and Periscope in about... We're going to try to be as quick as possible tonight. We'll be on in about 10...
Give us a short intermission. I've got a sick honey I'm going to check on.
10 minutes. We're going to be on in 10 minutes, or at least we'll be rolling the open in 10 minutes. Okay, folks? We'll see you in 10 minutes over at the Speakeasy. Be there or be a liberal Democrat. Ooh. Good night, all.
Catch you on the flip side, guys.